Alright, welcome back. This is another quick little episode to give you a fill-in of where we've been so far. I'm going to post a fuller version of what we did the Savo at Katherine Gorge separately to this, but just a quick update on our travels so far. So day one, it's day 7 now. Day 1 we went from the Gold Coast to Maryborough and stayed overnight there, so that was about 350k. Day 2 we went from Maryborough to Emerald and we stayed at a free camp which was on the railway line. Yeah, on the railway line. That was pretty cool. It was a bit noisy, but it was all right. For a free camp, it was pretty good. Good toilets are there. No water though, I don't think. Day 3, we went from Emerald to Walkabout Creek. Again, I've said in other videos, that's where the pub version of Crocodile D was shot. And the interesting about that place, if you are going to stay there, out the back, there's rats. Not like heaps of them, but if you leave any food out, they're going to come in. So if you have any food or anything like that that's just in packages, put it in a box, make sure it's safe, because they'll eat it for sure. We're actually sitting there there's 2 parts actually, just before dusk, and Talia was like, "What's that?" And I looked down and a rat was pretty much just like sitting next to my leg. He didn't care whatsoever. So I sort of shooed him away. And then later, when it was dark, which was crazy, she said it again. We're talking like maybe 7 o'clock. So we were like, that's it, we're going to bed. So we loaded up straight upstairs. We weren't staying near any bloody rats. But again, like, we had all the boxes set up and everything, so it was pretty cool. So that was day 3. Day 4, we went from Walkabout Creek to not quite to the Three Ways. So there's 3 ways in Darwin. We were about 15k east of the 3 ways, so we didn't quite make it. It was a really cool free camp again. The Walkabout Creek the night before was actually pretty cheap. Was it 20 or 22?
$22 for both of us for one night.
For both of us,
yeah,
and that was unpowered. But we didn't need any water. But we went outside, had a couple of drinks in the pub. Like it was very convenient. It was pretty much just out their back door. But yeah, the next night, which is the 15k east of the 3 ways, was pretty good. But probably only thing was there was no other light, so we went to bed pretty early that night too, just because of the bugs. But again, that was pretty cool. That was a good chance for us to test our little shower. We bought one of those. Then next morning we got up, so that was another full day. We pretty much travelled from, what did we say, was it like 7:30 or 8 o'clock in the morning that day till pretty much dusk. Like we kind of knew about maybe 30 or 40k leading up to it that's where we'd stay for the night. Talia uses Wiki Camps, and she's got either downloaded or basically she's got all of the maps and you can read all of the feedback without any internet. So we picked there, that was a freebie. Then the next day we travelled from that spot to Bitter Creek, or Bitter Spring should I say, just for an update on the road. So we were really worried going from Camberwell, which is back on the NT border, on the Barkly Highway. We were really worried about the Barkly Highway roads and also the Stewart Highway roads just because of flooding. But so far, it seems like that all of the potholes, and this is no knowledge of mine, this is more Talia, she's been watching it over the last couple of months, maybe even 6 months. All of that rain at the start of the year really, really hammered the road. So from what we can see, there's pretty much no potholes left. So where the bad potholes are, they've either graded it and have it pretty much open, or they've graded half of the road and then you just travel the other half. Or when that happens, there's usually traffic lights. But like the quality of the road's cool. There's no real corrugations to speak of that we've seen so far anyway. So yeah, probably another thing as well, on day 4, so Walkabout to 3 ways, as soon as you hit the NT, you get a chance to go to 130 kilometres an hour. Interestingly, at the start, it's a bit harder for your car, and there was a sign I saw that said that if you are, it's pretty much just after it says 130, just when you cross over to the NT, there's a lot of headwinds there. So if you're watching your fuel economy, it tends to chew it a fair bit at that start. So I sort of still sat on that 110, 115, and then about probably 50k, maybe 100k up the road, I started to trickle back up again with the cruise control. And for reference, I'm burning at 110. I'm burning between 9.5 to 10 litres per 100, which is pretty good. But I mean, we're just rooftop tent, so it's not like we're towing caravan or anything. When I put it onto eco mode with the GWM, at 130 we were burning about 11.7 litres per 100. And I did a bit of calculations before. Even on sports mode, I was burning, probably 12.5 litres, maybe 13 when I was being a little bit throttle heavy. But I would think that 130 kilometres an hour, if you've got if you got 5 or more gears in your gearbox, should only be maybe 1.5, 2 litres per 100 at worst to kind of go faster. So if you're thinking about fuel economy, check it out, because it's actually not that much more expensive. I mean, I worked out that at 1,500k in total at 130k, I'm going to spend maybe an additional 60 or 70 bucks in fuel. So for me, absolutely worth it. So anyway, then we stayed at Bitter Springs for 3 nights. So we got there, what day is it today? Friday. So we got there Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Thursday night. Yeah, Wednesday night, Thursday night. So we got there Tuesday night. We stayed Wednesday night, Thursday night, or Wednesday, Thursday, and then just packed up Friday and left. Can I say, Bitter Springs was the oasis. Like, I wasn't expecting it to be that good. We haven't been to Mataranka Springs just yet. We have been told by quite a few people that just because it's a concrete and so forth, it's not maybe as good. But Bitter Springs, and hopefully the drone footage I took was actually half decent, because we got asked by the ranger if we had a pass, which we do. It's just that obviously we had to stop filming, grab my phone, find it, and by then we'd probably lost the moment. So hopefully I'll get some drone footage there that does it justice. But Bitter Springs was just like spectacular, on a whole other level spectacular. If you've seen any of the other footage I've got, like, it pretty much is like a pool. So it's like you're forgiven for thinking that maybe there's chlorine in it, but there's not. And I mean, temperature-wise, I don't know exactly, but I would say like 31, 32 degrees. It in fact was hotter than where we went today, which was the Katherine Hot Springs. I mean, I would have said that maybe they were like, I think about 26, 27 degrees maybe. Like, it was hotter than a normal pool, because Stelia's had a swim in the pool here at Katherine Gorge, and it's pretty cold apparently. But yeah, Bitter Springs, unbelievable. Like, just like, if you're going past, you have a choice, Bitter Springs or Mataranka, and I mean, you're probably going to go up and back. Stop in at Bitter Springs as a start. Another interesting thing about the park at Bitter Springs, so I got an internet marketing business, so I have to have internet. That's my excuse. Talia's okay without internet, but she's also running her business, so she definitely needs to be contactable. And we stayed in an unpowered site at the start, which was down the bottom of the park, and it was really cool. It was away from everything. It was really quiet, but the problem is it didn't have any line of sight to the sky, and we're using Starlink. So for me, I just started peeking out. I just knew, and coverage was like maybe 1 bar, and I was just thinking, like, this is just not going to work, because I probably had 4 or 5 hours worth of work to do that afternoon. So Talia could sort of sense that I was freaking out. So she's like, what do you want to do? And I said, well, look, maybe we can go see them and move spots. And like, at that stage, I would have been prepared to pay extra for anything really. And to be fair, we went up and saw them, and it was great. Like, they just said, have a chat, because there's a guy on a little four-wheeler. He takes you to your spot, and the lady just said, look, have a chat with him, and if he's cool with it, I'm cool with it. And we moved up to the top where the toilets and showers are. Now, we were next to them, so not just the toilets and showers, it's actually like a little communal eating area. So it was a bit noisier, but so worth it. We had line of sight to the sky. It was powered. And yeah, honestly, it was like a bit of a break from our break, to be honest. So that was Bitter Springs. We left there this morning, maybe 9:30. We travelled to, I would say, 2 hours ago, would you say, to when we got here? Maybe 2.5? We had 3:30?
We left about 10.
Did we get here maybe 3:30? Not quite sure. But yeah, probably 2.5 hours ago. So we've travelled a reasonable amount of distance. I don't know exactly what we've done today, but as a guess...
It was only 100k.
Oh yeah, what am I talking about? So hang on, if we left at 10... Did we stop somewhere around?
Yeah,
of course. Yeah.
We went to Woolworths.
Yeah, that's right.
Stocked up on some meat.
It's just a blur, like it's bloody ridiculous. It's a good point. So we've done about 150k, but we've actually obviously not been driving for that whole period of time. And when we got here, we went for a hike, which I'll put up for you, which was only just a hike of 1.8 kilometres there and back, but definitely got the heart rate up. So yeah, that was, went from Bitter Springs to here today. The plan for us, just loosely, so we'll stay here till Sunday. We're going to go out on the gorge tours tomorrow. So there's a 3 gorge tour, which is awesome. Then we'll stay here tomorrow night. Sunday, we're thinking get to Litchfield National Park. 2 big things, or probably 3, right, that Talia's really wanted to see. Bitter Springs, Mataranka, Litchfield National Park, obviously Katherine Gorge, which we're now seeing. And she's a weirdo. Whenever there's rocks, she just goes back to just chilling. Like, you can just, like, driving here, she's excited. You can just sense it. And, like, honestly, this is a really, really pretty place. So I'm just excited to be here. So we go Katherine Gorge, Litchfield National Park, and then I want to try to sneak into Darwin for a couple of days.
Berry Springs, we were told about. We thought it wasn't going to be that good, or we didn't have an opinion, I suppose. But someone said it was really good. So Berry Springs, probably some other stops, and then Darwin. There's a bit in Darwin, but if you don't really know much about it, it's pretty much just a small city. So we're thinking like an overnighter there. At that stage, we should be maybe 3,700, 3,800, but that is obviously with some driving, not a lot though. So I'm going to have a guess and say it's going to be about 3,700 home. So let's say we do 4,000 by the time we get to Darwin. We're going to do a round trip of 6,700, maybe 7,000 kilometres. And that's going to be in 3.5 weeks. So 3.5 weeks. So 21 days plus. When we went to Uluru, we did 9,050 kilometres in 12 days, and that included 3 days hiking. So we're learning slowly. 800k a day is a lot easier to do than what did we do in that first one? 1,250 bloody kilometres in one day. That was just stupid. So anyway, look, we set up here tonight. I'm about to go explore. There's a pool. What else we got here? Like, there's obviously a bit here. Is there like a communal area? Communal kitchen. There's a pool kiosk where you can buy drinks.
And so I just give you a little bit of a look around. We're on, like, you've got a spot where you've got 2 sides. So you've got the concrete part where you put a caravan, and then the other part where you'd entertain. But we're sort of reversing because we don't have a lot of weight or anything like that. So yeah, behind that there's a pool. Looks like a kind of a little bit of an entertaining area over there, and toilets and so forth in behind there. But behind us, so if you head down that road there, back on the right, there's like a private place to stay, and then further around is where the information centre is, which they seem to have some private function in today. They were packed, like they had maybe 150 people. Bus tour. But it was bus tours. There was lots of them. Lots of grey nomads in there. So yeah, that's pretty much a wrap for us.
I'll try also tonight to upload the hike, and if I could maybe find some drone footage for the next adventure, that'd be really cool too. So stay tuned for our next adventure on our weekend adventures.